Thanks for watching Afternoon Live. As we approach Halloween, many of us may be experiencing more nightmares, like falling off a cliff or being chased by something sinister. Here to help us make sense of these frightening dreams, we welcome dream expert and author of A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste, Kelly Sullivan Walden. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Hannah, for having me. I'm so honored.
Tell me about what inspired you to start studying and analyzing other people's dreams. Did it get sparked by your own dream life?
It actually did. Yeah, I started having very vivid dreams when I was a very little girl, and it started around Halloween. And it turns out that what happened to me happens to a lot of people because I started having nightmares based on all the imagery around all the witches and goblins and cemetery kind of decorations on people's houses. I had a very vivid nightmare about a witch that was trying to kill me. And and it turns out that most remembered dreams are nightmares, and that's not because that's what we're always having. It's just that nightmares are so vivid they're hard to forget. So I learned how to work with that dream, and it turns out I did something that was kind of remarkable where I re-entered the dream and ended up taking over the witch and becoming her boss, and she wasn't the boss of me.
That
So
is
that was
so
pretty
cool.
powerful.
Now, is that a strategy that we can take in our own nightmares if we're feeling that kind of out of control, that we can maybe change the narrative?
Exactly. This is one of the techniques I talk about. I write about it in my new book, actually, or in the book, A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. This is my fear formula. You can practice this with regards to a nightmare in your dream or even a real life, a waking life nightmare. So fear stands for face it, embrace it, ace it, and replace it. So turn toward it, but ask, like, kind of bring somebody with you. Imagine that you have an angel with you, or you have a spirit guide with you, or some kind of an animal that makes you feel powerful. And then embrace it, meaning you have to get bigger than the thing itself. Imagine that you're 10 times as big. And with that, you tend to then be able to ace it, meaning that you're able to go from being scared and being like the victim, all of a sudden you're the big one. And by the end of it, you've replaced it by turning the adversary into an ally, somebody that is there for the purpose of helping to give you a gift, to show you your own resilience and your resourcefulness.
That is so cool. Well, and I think a lot of people's nightmares, there's some sense of feeling powerless, like there's something bad coming at you and you can't fight back, you can't scream. Those are some common things that happen. So is it taking your own power back to kind of defeat whatever monster is coming at you?
Exactly, exactly. So, first of all, nightmares are actually a blessing because often they come to us letting us know that we're off course in our life. Maybe we're behaving in some way that isn't aligned with our best self. So they're not, our nightmares aren't just trying to haunt us. They're trying to give us a message. And of course, if we're watching a lot of scary movies, we're more apt to see these things as well. But we do, it usually, the bottom line of what these dreams are telling us is we are dealing with an issue in our waking lives where we feel powerless. And our dreams are connected to our subconscious mind, which is 88% of our mind's power, that's trying to say, hey, you're more powerful than you realize. Stop acting like a little baby. You're a big guy, you're a big girl, you've got this.
Is there something to how some people have very active, it seems like, dream lives, and maybe they just remember their dreams more often? And some people say, I haven't had a dream in years because it just doesn't really stick with them in their sort of conscious waking moments.
It's so true. Well, first of all, dreams as we age, I mean, for little kids, it's easier to remember dreams because they kind of live in that dream state all the time. But as we grow up, we become more fascinated and interested in the outer world. The outer world takes over, and we start thinking of our dreams as something, oh, that's what I used to do as a kid. And we kind of forget how rich it is. So there are people that are naturally gifted that remember dreams without even trying. But for most of us, myself included, I have to go out of my way to remember the dream. And there's a simple technique I talk about in the book to remember the dream. And here's the nutshell of it. It's to set a strong intention before you go to sleep, that your dreams are going to help you with some issue that you're dealing with, and that you will remember your dream upon awakening. So that's a really strong way to start your dream. And then you go into dreaming, and then when you wake up in the morning, don't do anything else. Don't read the paper, don't watch TV until you've written down your dream or drawn a picture of it or recorded it in a voice memo app.
That's cool, because I think a lot of us have that experience of you wake up and there's a semblance of a dream, and within 10 minutes, it's gone. So that's a great intention to keep it with you and then kind of analyze it later on if you can.
Exactly. And there's so much data that says if we remember a dream, even if we don't know how to decode it, it makes us more intuitive for our life's navigation in our waking life. We become better problem solvers. So it's not just something that's for people that have nothing better to do. It's actually something that would serve all of us, because we're all dealing with challenges every single day. That's the nature of life. And the goal is to become better problem solvers, and to also have a sense of, during this time of year, this is the time when, the veil between walls is very thin. And a lot of us deal with like Dia de los Muertos, our ancestors. And this dreams give us an opportunity sometimes, if we set an intention, to communicate with the people that we've lost, to actually have a reunion with them of sorts during this time of year. So it can be a really positive thing to be a dreamer, especially at this time of year.
For sure. Hey, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you so much, Hannah, and I hope you have a wonderful Halloween and more treats than tricks.
Thank you so much. You as well. Hey, Kelly's book again is A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com.